Yo, ¿cómo estamos?
Happy New Year's.
Yo, ¿cómo estamos,
Sorry,
everybody?
sorry.
Welcome to a new episode of Keeping It Really. I'm your host, Hera, with my beautiful co-host, Ashley.
Is that how I talk? Hi.
Hi.
Hi. If
Yeah,
you know, you know. If you're a real one, you know what we're gonna talk about already.
yeah, if you're a real one. We left it off with the
Well,
cliffhanger
we're gonna talk
last episode.
about.
We
We're
mentioned the
gonna be
trip.
talking about boys. Just kidding.
We
The
mentioned,
secret trip.
yeah, her
The Dora
secret trip.
trip.
Her secret trip that
hmm
wasn't mentioned in the previous episode, but with today's episode, we'll be talking about that. And I'm gonna leave it off with my bestie.
Yeah. So it was honestly, it feels like the trip was a long time ago, but it was a blur. Just kidding. No. So a while back in the beginning of the year, I guess my dad decided to take us on a trip. Shout out to him. Cool trip. And he booked the tickets ahead of time for the first time in forever. And we went to El Salvador. If you know, you
Ooh.
know. If you like pupusas, you like pupusas. Is anybody Salvadorian? I don't think I really know people my age Salvadorian. But
Pollo y
yeah, so we
queso
went
pupusas.
the night. Yeah, huh? We
Mhm.
went the night Sunday night when Bestie was waiting at his Airbnb at the couch. Our plane didn't leave until like 2 a.m. and we went to, I think, Texas. Texas, dude. I wish I could have gone off on Texas and like explored, but I had a really bad like jet lag going to and coming back. But the
Mhm.
first one was horrible because we were like traveling like 5 a.m., 3 a.m., like that time frame, and it was just a lot. Like I think I was tired, and the two, it was just like a lot, and we had bags so to check in. So it was just, if you know, you know. But then we landed there in the morning after Texas, like I think like at 10 a.m. And we got there, and the airport was, it was nice. It was a pretty big airport. It wasn't as big as the one in Peru, but I'm not biased. Just kidding. But it's crazy because once you got there, you can already feel like how humid it was. 'Cause it was
Ugh.
so humid, bro.
Even worse than
It was
Vegas?
hot and humid. No, it was horrible. And if you have curly hair, you know that humid and curly hair are not besties. But we got there, thankfully. We got the car, and our my phone wouldn't work unless it had Wi-Fi.
Mm,
L for me. But I remember our drive to where we were staying at was like an hour and a half away, and we couldn't even load it on maps.
yeah.
So I was giving directions, like just looking at the map, zooming it in. Like it
Mm,
loaded, but you couldn't see it.
yeah.
Like a legit map, you couldn't press like, oh, now start and then turn right, turn
Yeah,
left.
yeah.
No, like I was the, okay, now turn left, turn right. And so we finally got there, super jet lagged, super jet lagged. And I think we got there, and the first thing we did was we checked in and we rested a little bit,
Mhm.
because we were just not, I think everyone was feeling the trajectory of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we met up with our hermano that was there too, Mano Douglas. Shout out to him. And he took us that evening to go explore because we were already there. We're like, kind of might as well, like, aprovechar the time. And
Mhm.
we got to see around kind of the city vibe because I guess that week was the week that the president was going to be inaugurated. Is that how you say it?
Inaugurated?
Inaugurated? Inaugurated?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
In Spanish, I don't know how to say it. I guess that's the word in English.
Mhm.
And it was that weekend. So when we were in the city, it was just a whole bunch of people like prepping like some stage. And there was a lot of people, military people, like practicing how they were gonna, you know, how military people always do like their thing, you know?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
like the
practicing
marches or
that.
whatever.
Mhm. And so it was cool to see that. We saw that. We ate some food. It was funny because the restaurant that he took us to, it was good, but they took like 3 hours, which was kind of sad.
Mm,
But to make up for it, after we were like, let's go get some coffee because we're in El Salvador. I wanted to try some coffee. We go get some coffee, and it was pretty good.
yeah.
I got a cocoa matcha, which was different, and I haven't tried it yet, but I wrote it down because I wanted to try it and make it and see how it tastes. The one I tasted over there was too sweet, so I
Mm.
kind of wanted to adjust it and see, like, because cocoa and matcha, that sounds good, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's like a
we
hot
did
chocolate.
that.
Sounds like hot chocolate.
Like sweet combo.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. And then the next day, the things that stood out to me were that we sorry, I can't even read my handwriting. Oh, we went on the slide.
Oh,
I'll
I
insert a
remember.
clip.
I remember you sent me that colorful slide, right?
You saw it? And it was funny
Mm-hmm.
because side story, I could only talk with Wi-Fi, and I told my bestie, I was like, "Bro, you gotta get WhatsApp. Like, I can't text you on iMessage because with iMessage, like, if you don't have signal, it goes green, but then sometimes it never sends and it says not sent." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I know he's gonna be frustrated and it's gonna be too much for his
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
I was like, "Just get WhatsApp. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier, and I can talk to you when I have Wi-Fi." So, bro was on that thing. How did you like it? How did you feel using WhatsApp?
To be honest, if it felt like I was texting through Android because it's like green. I don't know if you could change your theme. Can you change your theme on it? I don't know. Like I don't know if you
You
could change.
can.
Yeah,
A
like
little bit, the background.
when I had it, I had the default green. So when I was using it, I
Mhm,
was just like, "Am I texting my bestie through an Android or what?" It gave me flashbacks to my Android days. So I was just like, I mean, overall it was good. Like I like the thing I like was that it showed you like the checks. So like it said it shows that you sent,
mhm,
and then it shows blue or double when it's delivered, and then it shows blue when you see it. So whenever
mhm,
Bessie had that time to like text me, I was just like, "Oh, she saw it." I was like, "Yes, she's alive."
mhm. I feel like if you have family that is, like
Far away.
that lives obviously, like, out in a different country,
Mm-hmm.
it's really good to use, because you can make calls and, like, back in the day, you had to pay for those cards, scratch the
Mm-hmm.
card, use the number, and that's how you had to call your family, but no, I think that's a and if your family especially doesn't have an iPhone, like, a lot
Yeah.
of my family doesn't have an iPhone, they have, like, other phones that I don't even know what they are, but point is WhatsApp works on them, right? So yeah, that's the WhatsApp side story. We went on that slide. It was cool. It was really scary. I honestly don't think it was like something that would be approved in the United States because you had to even sign a waiver, which was kind of scary. And that's when we all kind of got scared and we were like, oh well, you know what? We're already here. We're gonna do it. And I was the one with the idea because I saw it on TikTok and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
go big or go home. Like if I'm here, I might as well go do something silly, right? But it was fun. That was cool. Um, and another day, we went to the beach, which was
Mm.
nice as well. I'm not really a beach person, I'll be honest. I'm
Because you
more of a
can't
city
swim.
girl, but yeah, but I don't
I
know.
mean
I
it.
don't really like.
Okay, like I didn't like the beach either, but like it's because one, when you enter, it takes forever because it's so cold and you're trying to put your whole body inside. That's why I didn't want to go in because I was just like, it's so cold. But then after a while, it's fun because like once you're in, you go under the waves and you just like jump over them if you want. But I don't know how it is like if you can't swim. But like it's I don't know. I used to not like it, but I like going to the beach. But I don't even go, even though it's like right here. Like I didn't even go. But whenever I
Mhm.
get the
I
chance,
think what
like,
was
mm,
I think what was special about kind of this beach was that it was warm. It was nice. Like it
mm,
wasn't scary to go in, but I think it was still kind of like there was a lot of waves. That's what was scary because the
mm,
waves were huge. Like they looked like huge waves that you could even feel them even if you were like at the border of barely the water and the sand.
yeah.
So I think that was kind of like, whoa, I didn't know waves could do that. But it was nice. It was warm. We ate there. We got home kind of late or to the place.
Mhm.
And then the next day, I think this is one of my favorite days. We did a
Ooh.
hike.
Yeah.
But of course, if you know the Maita family, we're always running late.
Mhm.
And the plan was to start the hike around like max 9 a.m. So we're like, okay, like, yeah, we can do that. And we ended up not leaving the hotel until like 10 a.m. And we didn't get to the place where the hike was until like 11 a.m. So think about 9, 10, 11. So we're kind of like 2 hours and a half behind schedule. And the thing about this hike was that I think it was one of the top rated hikes, I guess. Um, and it also was one of the hikes that took the longest. So it was
Mhm.
about 4 hours if you wanted to do the hike, 2 hours going up, or almost 3 hours going up, and then an hour and a half going down. Because
Mhm.
going up is harder than going down.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so we were like, okay, we can still do it. Like we don't mind. But the thing is, I guess in the area that we were, if we were to start at 11, or say we started at 12. So it'd be
Mhm.
12, 1, 2, 3, 4. And by that time, you could already see that it was getting cloudy and that the sun was kind of going away. And we were kind of like, uh oh. So in our mind, we're like, it's
Mm.
fine. We can still do it. But I guess the ranger guy that was
Yeah.
there, he was like, yeah, I'm just letting you guys know, like, if it gets to, I think it was 1 p.m. He's like, if it gets to 1 or 2 p.m., no matter where you are, you're going to have to go back down because we don't want you guys to be up there with the tour guide because there was a guide.
Mhm.
We don't want him to be up there or you guys to be up there and for it to get dark and, for it to be difficult for you guys. So he was just kind of like really, one, I saw his concern, but then he was
Yeah.
kind of being really negative about it. He was like,
Mhm.
you guys might as well just not go, come another day. And we couldn't go another day because we
Mhm.
had like a day and a half left. So we were like, no, like, this is the only day we can come and we're not going to come back here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So he was kind of being negative and it kind of brought us all down. And we were kind of just like, you know what? Like, at the end we were like, let's just try it and do it, and if we don't get there then that sucks. But
Mhm.
the tour guide was really cool. Shout out to him. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to get you guys up there if you guys are down, like obviously coming to us
Mhm.
if we were down. And we started off really good. We were going pretty quick, but it got really difficult when we got to like these rocks where it was basically like you were climbing, like you couldn't
Mm.
just walk, like you had to climb up and then put your hands and then put your legs, and that's where it kind of got
Mm.
difficult. And that's where my mom and my sister stayed behind because it was hard. It was hard, like it was hard. And at that point they stayed behind and the tour guide was like, you guys are almost there. So it
Yeah.
was me, my dad, and then Mano. You guys are almost there, but he's like, I'm just letting you know, to make it there you can't basically be slow at this rocky part. Like you got to keep the pace
Mhm.
because people take forever at this rock part,
Yeah.
which is the last part. And he was like, but you can keep going. And you know what was really funny was that people, by the time we were going up, people were already coming down
Mhm.
from this rock part. And there was this one thing, I was doing okay. Uh, but think about it, like it was humid, we were
Mhm.
tired, it was hard. And one thing that this one lady said that really like annoyed me was that she's like in Spanish, but she was all like, I'm gonna be honest, like these people still have a long way to go. And she said that right in front of our faces, and I was like, bruh. Like, people just, I was like,
Yeah.
at least say it in your head. But I was huffing and puffing. Like, I think I wasn't just prepared. Like, I didn't have an electrolytes with me. I didn't have
Yeah.
um my hydro. I didn't have like snacks. It was just kind of
Mhm.
like I wasn't prepared. The only thing that helped me was like my hat, my glasses. I had pants to hike, shoes to hike,
Mhm.
long sleeve. But thankfully, like one of the hermano was like, you can do it. Like, we'll rest a little bit, and he had electrolytes, so he gave me some electrolyte water, and then I was like, you know what, I got it. But bro, we were huffing and puffing. Like, I've never felt my body be so heavy
Mhm.
before. And then when
Yeah.
we finally made it up there, it's so funny because we were like almost at the top. So we were hiking up a mountain because at the mountain peak, you could see the volcano that was in the middle. That was
Yeah.
basically like the point. And it was funny because when we were almost up there, we literally passed another group and we were like, what? And we passed another group, and
Yeah.
the tour guide, shout out to him because he was the one that was like, we're almost there, even though we weren't almost there.
Yeah.
Like, he was just like helping us out, and we made it there, and he was really surprised, and it just felt good because we were like, we're never gonna do this again. We
No,
made
you
it.
did
I think we
not?
made it in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was so difficult. Like, I really didn't think I would make it, but we did.
Mhm.
And we saw, the volcano, we took some pics. And there was a guy up there selling some ice cream.
Oh, by the
So
volcano?
we got some ice cream.
It
Yeah.
didn't melt or
He
anything?
had a
What
whole
the heck?
cooler. No, he had a cooler and it
Oh,
was
okay,
good.
okay.
That ice cream helped me up. It was good. And yeah,
Bro,
and then the way back down was
imagine that
easy.
dude up there with the
But yeah.
ice cream. Like, how the heck he get
No,
up
no, no.
there?
And it was funny because we saw him going down, and then I don't know who asked him. They were like, "Oh, do you have like a different way to get up here because you're carrying all these things?" He was like, "No, I go the same way up every day."
Oh
I was
my.
just like, "Damn, he's fit," because he had a huge cooler, and like imagine carrying it full and going up.
Mhm.
Like,
He didn't have a buddy up there
but
with
it was
them or
cool.
what?
I know there
What?
was just a lot of random dogs.
Mm,
Yeah, but yeah, that was the highlight of the trip for
that's
me.
crazy.
And then we got some souvenirs. We went back to the hotel. Probably ate some things. When we were heading back home, it was kind of the same. Like, got really nauseous again.
Mhm.
But what I did like from visiting was that there was a lot of security,
Mhm.
because I feel like, if you didn't know, I guess, this country was a gang ruled country at one
Mhm.
point, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, not too long ago. But until their new president came, he kind of changed everything, and it just felt really safe.
Yeah.
Everywhere you would go, like even on the hike, there was police up there with rifles.
Mhm.
We went to the mall, because we went to the mall at one point. There was cops or polices with rifles again,
Mhm.
and it just felt safe. Like, if someone were to try to do something, steal something, there was always someone there. And what I also liked kind of was that no matter where would you go, there was also something like God related.
Mhm.
Like there was either like a billboard that said like, a verse, or different cars, a lot of church vans
Mhm.
everywhere, because Christianity is like ruled heavily over there. And I
Mhm.
thought it was just cool, because you don't really see that obviously here.
Or in like
You
other
see like one or
countries.
two signs. Yeah, you see like one or two signs that are like, oh, this is our church, or one or two vans, but it was just really consistent. And I thought that was cool. And yeah, I think that was my takeaway. That it was nice to see how transformed, I guess, the place was, because I obviously didn't see it when it was kind of like um gang ruled, but you can tell now that the people are like happy, and there's just like they're not scared anymore. Obviously, like it just looked like they were more free. Obviously, it's not like a huge country, I guess, tourism wise. Like
Mhm.
if you go somewhere like Peru, there's like 100 packages of like
Mhm.
different things you can do throughout the week, because like Peru is Peru, and it's one of the most visited like countries in the world. But I feel like here you really couldn't find like,
Mhm.
oh, a tour bus or a tour company,
Mhm.
because it's not to its tourism capacity yet. It's kind of like if you go, you visit family,
Yeah.
or you visit someone that kind of knows where to take you or where to go type vibe. But I think in the next few years they'll definitely work on that. Like it'll be more popular because they're safer,
Mhm.
and it's just a better, country. They're improving, I guess, little by little, economy wise too, because everything there
Mhm.
costs a dollar still, which kind of hurts.
Yeah.
Everything is still in a dollar. It's not like Peru where $3.50 is a dollar for us,
Mhm.
basically. But yeah, that's my takeaway.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, like speaking of like how you said how it used to be like a dangerous country. Like I was watching that one interview because I followed this one guy and he was doing like a breakdown of it.
Mhm.
And I mean, I heard it from my mom first. My mom was telling me about like the president of El Salvador. Like that dude's really like faith based, and
Mhm.
he's really smart in what he does, and obviously it comes from God. And my mom was telling me about him, how he switched the country around, like how you said, like how it was like gang based for quite some time. And I was just like, that's crazy. And then I was watching this interview he had with what's his name, like uh Tucker Carlson or something like that, because that was
Something
the
like that.
yeah, he was doing an interview with them, and Tucker Carlson asked him like oh, like, how did you turn it around, or what was your motive, or what was your way of flipping this country around, because obviously it was dangerous. And I was just like listening to it, and then the president was all like, oh, we prayed about it, we implemented a plan, and it was all like praying to God. And he was like laughing because he's all like, or he like, yeah, he laughed like in the video. Tucker Carlson laughed because he
He
never
was
heard. Yeah,
surprised.
he was surprised
Mhm.
because he never would have expected anybody to say something like that, mentioning God, like saying that, oh, God, it was the reason he helped us. We prayed for wisdom to help us, turn this country around. And it's crazy because like if every like I was just thinking in my head, because like it's all God. If God was implemented in every country in the United States and all these countries that are really bad, look at how the country would be. Like how you said, like you see a lot of like Christian stuff all around. It just felt safe. Like imagine how the world would be if everyone had that same mentality, like just trusting in God. Because God like turned that place around. It wasn't him. He prayed for God for wisdom, and now look at it. Like if everybody had that mentality, instead of like, oh, I'm a president, let me control everybody, I have the power and nobody's going to take it away from me. But God has the power, and he has the power to like give and take away. And if we don't
Mhm.
acknowledge him for what he's done for us, like obviously we're not going to be up to that standard because everyone's just like selfish. And once they have that power, they're all like, listen to me. And, if not, then like you're going to jail or something like that. But it was crazy because he said he prayed to God for wisdom. And it's always
Mhm.
important because like God is the ultimate person to, provide that. And it was really interesting. I liked um the way the interview was. He was just really like he wanted to help the people, and I'm glad you were able to like experience that. I don't know if I'll ever go to El Salvador, but I'm praying I hopefully do one day. But for someone like you to go there and experience it, it's kind of interesting, Like we need more
I
presidents
think
like that.
it's I think it's interesting how he's also really humble about it.
Mhm.
Like he never says like, "Oh yeah, because of me this happened," or
Mhm.
because of me, because he's very glorified there. Like I
Mhm.
could tell that people love their president.
Mhm.
They're super like, I love my president type vibe, like
Mhm.
I'm standing with him because they've seen the changes that have happened. Obviously there's some people that are like, "Oh yeah, we are on our president's side because we know that he's a person who refuges in God." But there's
Mhm.
obviously other people who still kind of idolize just him, and they think like, "Oh, it's him, it's him, it's him."
Mhm.
But never does he make himself seem like, yeah, it's me, it's me, it's me. Like, no, he makes it really clear that he's like, it's not just me. There's a team of people
Mhm.
that, are helping bring security and help the country become a better country. But above
Mhm.
everything, the person that kind of guides us is God.
Mhm.
He doesn't really just make it seem like, oh, it's me, it's me, it's me,
Mhm.
which I thought was nice too.
And then I heard I think this is his second term, right? Like how you said, like the president was
He
there,
was,
right?
he was there 2 days after we left. So two
Mm.
days after, so that's why when I was there, it was kind of cool to see everyone kind of setting up. Like they were having like all these flags set up everywhere. People were selling merch with his face.
You should have got one.
It's
I
just
want
kind of
one.
like, no, dude. I was like, no. It was
Like
like a
Etsy?
shirt with just his
Like
face.
Etsy or what?
Huh. Like little cups like this with his
Mm.
face, everything. And I was just really excited. People were cleaning up, people were cutting like the flowers everywhere.
Uh-huh.
You can see like they were getting prepared. But yeah, he gave like a speech, obviously, like when he was
There.
presenting himself to everyone in his like White House
Mhm.
or wherever he lived.
Mm.
But yeah, it was pretty nice. It was nice to see that, they were preparing for him.
Mhm. Would you go back? Like not like quick, but like would you go like maybe in 10 years, 5 years to revisit, or would you ever go back there?
Mm.
And bro, you didn't even
I
bring
think
me
it would
food stuff.
depend. Ah,
Oh, you a
anyways.
guest, so come on.
I think it would depend on many, many factors.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of other places I would want to see for the first time.
Mhm.
Um, but like I said, I feel like maybe it would be cool to go back once they have a more established like tourism
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I was about to say that.
thing.
Yeah.
Because there's really not a lot of things. Like if you went as a tourist and you didn't know Spanish or anything, you'd be lost there for sure.
Mm.
But I feel like in other cases, like when I've had the opportunity to go to Peru, there's people that have no Spanish, like uh, at all, don't
Mhm.
understand it, but are still going there because there's people in Peru who know that this place is so populated that everyone around the world comes. We can't
Mhm.
just limit ourselves to having attractions in Spanish or having signs in Spanish. Like, no, it's Spanish, English, Spanish, English,
Mhm.
English. Like places that are well visited, like maybe perhaps like, oh, this huge zoo that's there, oh, this huge attraction. Like they know it'll be populated with also tourists,
Mhm.
so they're gonna have it, accessible to those people as well.
Mhm.
I feel like though once they do that, I think they'll be a more populated country
To
because like right
visit.
now, obviously they're still trying to bring their own country together,
Yeah.
themselves. And once they do that and they are able to build the country for other people, I think it'll be a probably a different experience that maybe I would see. But I really don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I know. Hey, but Peru trip next year or what?
Dude, don't even get me started. I love my country. I love
Yeah.
it.
I,
It's that's a whole nother
I
that's
just
a whole
gotta make
nother
sure that
spiel.
my like passport is updated. I don't know. I just gotta double check that. I've only gone to
That it's not
TJ,
expired
y'all.
like mine.
Yeah, I need to hit
Oh,
up Oscar, but
not Oscar. If you know, you know. Anyways.
yeah, but yeah, I need to make sure like I update my passport because I've only gone to TJ. That's the only country I've gone to outside of the US. But other than
Mhm.
that, like I need to make sure my passport is updated. I feel like I have like 2 years left. I don't know, maybe one. I don't know. I need to
Hmm.
double check that. But
You should
yeah,
check that after this. Can you
yeah,
please? I promise.
yeah. I need to check that. Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna check it after this, right?
yeah. I will. I will.
Okay.
And also, I want to end it off like I want
Okay.
to end off the podcast with some verses of wisdom
Hmm.
because
Okay.
of the president. You know what I mean? Okay,
Hmm.
there's
I have one
one.
too.
Oh, you do?
Hmm.
You go
Yeah, I
first. You go
do.
first. Or you want me to go?
Okay. I hope it's one of yours.
Uh
Mine
huh.
is in James 1:5. Is that one of
Hmm.
yours?
Nope.
Oh, it is?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not.
It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given
Ooh.
to you. I like that one
Nice.
because it's like, yeah, I feel like that's kind of what he stands by. He's like, obviously, we were lacking wisdom, and he asked for wisdom, he got it, and he was able to do
Hmm.
what he did. Your turn.
All right, I have like four because like I kept on looking up wisdom verses because of what
Hmm.
he said. You know, he
Hmm.
was like praying to God for wisdom. And there's
Hmm.
one here in Proverbs 2:6. It says, "The Lord is the source of wisdom. Knowledge and understanding come from his mouth." And then I have another one right here in James 3:17.
Mm.
Yeah, James
Okay.
3:17. It says, "But the wisdom that comes from God is like this. First, it is pure. It is also peaceful, gentle, and easy to please. This wisdom is always ready to help people who have trouble and to do good for others. This wisdom is always fair and honest." And that's what he also said in the interview. He was saying, like, it starts with bringing peace. Like, if you don't have peace within a country, how can you uh, bring peace to everybody? If you can't even bring peace to your own country,
Hmm.
how are you going to bring peace to the people in it? So that's why it says it is also peaceful, gentle, and easy to please. This wisdom is also fair and honest. And I have this other one, third verse. It's Ecclesiastes 9:16. It says, "But I will say that wisdom is better than strength." They forgot about the poor man's wisdom, and the people stopped listening to what he said. But I still believe that wisdom is better. And the fourth and final verse that I want to share is Job 12:13. And it says, "But wisdom and power belong to God. Good advice and understanding are his." And
Ooh, this version says, but true wisdom and power are found in God. Counsel and understanding are his.
mhm, that's how it is, bro. That's how he's able to turn this thing around. Not because of him, but because of the fact that he's trusting in God for that wisdom. God is allowing him to bring this peace to the people because he's having that faith to trust in him. And that's what we got to do as believers, you know?
If you need wisdom, hit up God.
Yeah, hit him up. He's available 24/7.
I got his at right here.
Oh, you do? Where?
At God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right
follow
here on the
him.
screen.
Yeah,
Insert it
yeah.
right here.
All right.
Mm,
That was a good one. We'll end it right there, yo.
yeah, well, if you know, you know. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for episode
Dun, dun,
3.
dun,
And
dun.
also remember, God loves you. And always remember to keep it real.
Did it work? I got it.